not the worst thing in the world. We saw him hit some nice AK shots previously.
Simple allowing the first player to cross, looking for the second. Doesn't get that, but actually push into him through the Molotov. And Simple with the USP will not let them pass. He does get dropped to 7 HP, but it's all on Jax. They're not going to be able to make the most of it. At least you think not. And Edward, long range, going to get the better of Jax. Just what the doctor ordered for Na'Vi, a flawless round.
Yeah, Simple was loving the fact that he had a perfect fight body. He just lets him run through the flames, lets him sit there and take some extra damage. Looking much better for Na'Vi now, and they're even going to switch into a double op setup. We saw it on Simple. Flamey's going to have one as well. 3 AUGs in between it. And another timeout.
So what do you think the play for G2 at this stage? I mean, they've gone for all these super aggressive plays.
Yeah.
Is this where they start to slow it down a bit? Or do they just go with what's been working?
I think they're going to have to, because while they were doing those fast plays, Na'Vi had yet to really kind of establish the safety net of their money. Now they have Molotovs, they have smokes, they have HE grenades, so you're going to start taking a lot of damage if you're aggressive in the choke points early on. The double op setup is going to be very difficult, and if you're too fast and not putting flashbangs in the right place, those ops are going to chew you apart. This round, though, this might be fast. 2 MAC-10s, a half buy for G2. They haven't fully invested. Simple wants to get aggressive around the corner, misses that initial shot, but it's okay. He's got plenty of information. Nade chunks down Jax as well. Oh, this could be tough, though. Waterfall out the halls, perhaps in the cards. The MAC-10s, the mobility, and one of the ops is at this A bomb site as well.
They do have Electronic there, though, but he's moved forward. He's no longer in the pit. He's going to try and take the fight. This could be brutal timing for him, though. Edward's going to hold on just about with 2 kills, 2 very impactful frags. Another Electronic's made a move through the smoke. He's just pounced with 2, looking for a third, can't get it done. A lot of damage has been inflicted, and it's a one-on-one. Flamey going to have to make the long traversal move from B through on the A side. Kenny's not been able to get the bomb planted just yet, though. Still plenty of time. Gonna smoke off towards the library side. And at this stage, from a B's perspective, he has no idea. Has Flamey rotated up mid? Has he gone through library side? Neither player really knows where the other is at this stage, but now the bomb has been faked. Flamey's not going to fall for it. Kenny's just going to plant safe. This does mean he's going to have a claustrophobic hold, though, once Flamey starts to make a move in. He just has an opener. Sidearm and his disposal, and Kenny, yes, with the superior firepower, is going to light up Flamey, and G2 in their first round in a while. 3
kills for Kenny in that round. That's a huge performance. You could see Flamey wanted desperately to have any weapon but the AWP. So unwieldy as you enter into that bomb site, have to clear so many corners. Exactly why he's using the pistol on the entrance. That's 2 clutches now for Kenny S. 2 one-on-ones that he's had.
Goes to show how close and tight this game has been. Even with 2 clutches, G2 still trailed by 2 rounds. But that is a phenomenal effort by him. Has brought the economy of Na'Vi to its knees. If they concede this round, they will be broke.
Yes, I mean, part of that also is the double op setup. They prioritize some pre-spam through the smoke, and Flamey's going to find him just around the edge. Lucky, massive damage that he's dealt, but couldn't find the completion of the frag. It's Shocks now to lead the way. Flamey and Zeus perhaps feeling a little bit nervous. They did have to deal with a pretty decisive contact play at this bomb site earlier. A lot of time for Kenny to peek into the B bomb site with that AWP, but he only had 1 shot before the smoke is going to delay things.
Posturing just outside, but Electronic a different angle again. MP9 in hand. And that smoke is just enough to force G2 back. They're not going to try their hand this time around.
Electronic is one of the best players we have in the game of Counter-Strike at guarding pit as well, and you saw him in the previous round using his, mobility, really positioning himself well in a hectic hit, was able to catch a bunch of players off guard, disappearing into the balcony smoke. It is going to be towards this B bomb site, though. Flamey with his low HP is boosted up. Unfortunately, it's going to be tough. Zeus is going to get caught on the other side of the smoke. If they do end up putting one on this choke point, he's going to have to transition into the bomb site. Doesn't want 2 players to be caught outside of the site.
There's a slight gap in that smoke as well. G2 now going to start to push. They're already down. No one checks to boost, but they do. Last tick of that flashbang. If Flamey was unblind, that would have been a whole different ballgame. Simple. Back to the wall, gonna come out swinging with the first, looking to secure the bomb site. 8 seconds to go, there's not gonna be enough time for Kenny to get on the site, can do a bit of damage on his way out, but this round is going the way of Na'Vi. They're gonna lead 7-4.
That looked like it was going to be a beautiful hit from G2. I mean, the first good thing that happens for Na'Vi is that they are able to cheat Simple over just in the right moment. So him and Zeus actually get into the bomb site to hold on while Flamey's boosted up. The second very weird thing is G2 calls a strategy where they have 2 players rapping through ruins and construction, and then they throw a Molotov behind the coffin. So the players that are actually rotating in that fashion, Simple feels a little bit comfortable. They have to swing behind that Molotov. I think it did find a little bit of safety in it, but Simple was probably really curious knowing there were players rapping from G2, and then they throw a Molotov right where they want to rap into. It really limited how those players could take that fight. And all that with just 10 seconds on the clock, so little bit of mistake on the utility from G2.
G2 know that Na'Vi, though, still struggling financially. They are there for the taking. This round could be another fulcrum point on this first half. G2 going to go force in. It's not going to be a great buy, but plenty of utility, plenty of pistols. And they do have an AK unlucky and an AWP in the hands of Kenny S. This round could be everything for this half.
Yeah, neither of these teams have wanted to sit around out. Na'Vi has made those gamble stack decisions so they can keep as many guns in play as possible, as many buys on the CT side as possible. G2 as well buying up into a lot of risky situations, relying on Kenny S with the AWP perhaps. Pretty typical banana take, but what's not typical about it is that G2 has 5 players here. Na'Vi was reading the situation. Simple, Zeus, and Flamey all stick around to defend. In G2 feel the need to readjust.
The problem is that Inferno is one of the most taxing maps for the AWPers, so relying on Kenny S to deliver some entries or just lock it down with the AWP is going to be an even more stressful situation for him. You have to feel the body's probably going to have to do work with this AK-47 too. If they can get weapons across from Na'Vi, though, everybody has armor, so this could spiral out of control for Na'Vi. They've given up map control through mid. But again, with players like Electronic and Pit, that's only half the battle. G2 still have their work cut out for them. Boosting up Kenny to peek into Pit, but there's Edward from the side, able to get 2, nearly a third onto Jackson. That could be the moment. Zeus gonna make sure that Banana's no longer an issue. And G2 are forced into a bit of a horrible position here, making a move through the arch side. Getting across to the side of this stage is an absolute nightmare, and Simple is gonna punish Lucky. It's all on Jax. Has no idea where the remainders of Na'Vi are, one of which is going to be Flamey making a move through library side, 15 seconds, and then Jack's mind, he just wants to save this off, but he's get denied. Na'Vi, hold on.
Simple picks up that AWP right at the end as well. 8-4 in the favor of Na'Vi. This is great from Edward, just straight up fights, and part of the reason why he's able to do that, we mentioned G2 and kind of a force by Limbo in that previous round, not wanting to give the round up, just didn't have the utility, didn't have the Molotov to force him out and watch for that kind of a peak. 13 kills for Simple, 13 kills for Edward. It's Kenny S leading the way for G2 at 10. And a mid-push coming in from Na'Vi. Simple providing great cover for Electronic, who's gotten up the bench.
Again, reading the lack of armory. An arsenal for G2, Electronic whips out of the USP, and it's going to be the deadly duo once again, enforcing their will on G2, not allowing them a chance to have anything to talk about in this round, just bulldozing them.
It'll be a 9th round for Na'Vi, looking to grab complete control of this match. Zeus is going to find that frag on body at the end. We'll have a chance to see what G2 has decided to pull out for one of these last 2 rounds. They've really struggled to get momentum going. They have 4 rounds and a half, but they haven't really been able to string a whole lot together. They just had that one little pocket in the middle of this half where they won 2 in a row. Since then, it's been 5 of the last 6 going in the favor of Na'Vi. G2 really unable to find a winning recipe throughout this half. Ken Guess with the AWP again, AK, a decent utility. Here we go. Shock's gonna come right through this smoke, and nobody's blind. He does find 1 kill, but Lucky has taken so much damage trying to follow up. Not exactly a net gain for the French side.
Especially when you consider how little utility they have It's not as if Na'Vi are spent on all their grenades. They've got plenty left. They can stall this out for a good 30-40 seconds at least. Lucky being on 6 HP and with a smoke in his hands, they may feel pressured to get rid of this as soon as possible. Now going to start to make inroads over on the A side of the map, courtesy of Jax, but... or body, pardon me. Going to be smoking off arches while the rest of G2 look to make a move. The whole purpose of this is to try and draw away one of the CTs before they do hit B. I think Zeus was entertaining the idea of it, but now he has locked it back down on B again alongside Flamey.
So tough though. Kenny's going to have to be pretty aggressive with this AWP. Lucky with very low health, cannot afford to be the initial contact, cannot afford to go in with the opening group. Here we go, Flamey's boosted up. It took him a while to clear this out. It's going to get pre-fired this time. Zeus still waiting, just wants to stay alive, doesn't even want to fight for it. Even he's getting spammed though, and somehow he dodges all of it.
Well, goes in just afterwards before the rest of his team really had a chance to get even close.
Electronic did throw a pop flash for him, obviously did not work out the way it was intended, and from here, Na'Vi going to keep these weapons alive. The op and Simple, Electronic with an AUG, they'll be able to drop weapons if needed, but I don't think it will. Edward, Zeus, and Flamey, the players that have fallen, have plenty of money. But G2 going to get up to 5, and that feels much, much better.
I think Na'Vi also looking to try and constrict the economy of G2. They're both in exit points. Now, I was about to say, Simple's got banana control, but Kenny S does come out with the AWP shot. Because their economy isn't too good here either, G2. If Simple could have maybe done a bit of damage on the way out, maybe a bit of a lack of a buy coming through into the last round of the half, but...
any little bit, right? If you take a Molotov, a smoke, flashbang away, it all counts. G2, though, all things considered, despite some of the struggles they've had in this half, I mean, they've put together a pretty solid performance. And a chance to get 6 rounds, that would be beautiful. Yeah, this is a banger of a tune.
Building up the tension for the last round of the half. It could be such an important one at that.
It's not tension, it's putting up a dance party.
Lining up the potential nade, and here comes Jax. A similar position to where Shocks ran into the round prior. It didn't work out for him, but the flashes and nades are going to be on point. Jax not able to double up with a second. Zeus is going to repel that, moves into the smoke, but he was always going to be out in position in that stage. Decides to back away into the arms of Shocks. This is such a strange round from Na'Vi. Super aggressive round from G2. He's going to yield a 3-on-2 advantage, and now all the pressure on Electronic. He's about to get forced by remaining G2 players.
Yeah, but he slowed him down. Smoke in lane is going to make them a little bit cautious. There's a massive gap in that, though. What kind of an angle can Electronic find? Simple, he calls Simple back to the B bomb site, and they think maybe Electronic thinks that smoke that he threw in lane has done just enough to force G2 away, but it hasn't. They've just slowed their take, but it's going to be a free bomb site. Shocks has the bomb in pit. Oh, there's an appearance in library. Kenny S down so low, but now he's got the angle, so no more peeking for Electronic. He's got to wait for Simple to come in. The bomb is going to go down any moment. It's a 2-on-3 in the last round. They must go for it.
2 players very low. There is a kit and a Molotov. This in the realms of possibility. Kenny is going to try and shut it down before it can gather any kind of momentum or steam. But decides better of his angle. Shocks will go for the peak. He had a slow start, but he's warming up just when it counts, leaving Simple 1-on-3 with the AK, and Kenny S will greet him. 9...
still finding themselves in a pretty narrow deficit, just 3 rounds.
We've had the big moment plays from like Electronic, from Pit, Simple's had.
Out of Inferno and one of them has been Kenny. He is so dangerous on this because it is deceptively like a very, like, uppers can have so much freedom while they have such a tough side on the T side where they're really restricted. The CT side is pretty much everywhere they go they can be effective with the AWP at finding opening kills, you know, trading kills, limiting the amount of success that the terrorists can have upon hitting that part of the map. You can put him at the P bomb site, A halls, you can get aggressive in halls, you can peek down mid. Can be very deadly, and if Na'Vi can't get a hold of him, if they can't limit the amount of rounds he plays with the AWP, this could be really tough half for them.
I mean, we saw Simple do it. He walked down mid with the AWP a couple of rounds into second mid, very aggressively. As you say, he can be so versatile. They had a double AWP set up for a while, Simple and Flamey.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've already seen the G2 in the Challenger stage. Pretty much everyone on their team can actually pick up the secondary AWP. I've seen Jax do it, Lucky's done it, of course we know Shox can pick up the AWP as well. So there is some versatility in this G2 lineup.
I would like to see them keep the AWP out of Shox's hands.
I agree. He's much better with rifle.
I'd like to see him with a rifle.
Yeah.
But as well, I mean, he kind of picked it up down the end. Remember, he had a tough start to this game. He was limited on his impact, but, you know, towards the end, those last 2 rounds of their T side, he found some great kills down the stretch. He's sitting at 6 frags, so is Lucky. Jax is at 7. It's Kenny S and Body at 12 and 11 who lead the way for G2. You'd expect all of those frag counts to rise on this half of the map.
Sure. I mean, at one stage he was 3 and 10, so
yeah.
He's already started to make a move in the right direction. But as you say, now on the CT side, don't have to play as aggressively, can get the crossfires established. This is where you're looking for G2 to really up their game. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, second half of this second best of 1 between Na'Vi and G2 is getting live. Na'Vi on the T side, and again G2 getting a whole bunch of utility. Jax with a nade to boot. And he's the player that's on B at the moment, so maybe just stalling this off for a little while until he gets some information. If they're going to try and wrap on B, that's where you expect the grenade to be tossed in and potentially do a bunch of damage.
Yeah, nade just to soften him up if he notices him at a choke point. Simple takes a bit of damage. He was dropped over a P250. He can be pretty deadly from long range, so G2 has to be careful. Flamey in the halls, all alone. There's Jax with a good shot, but Flamey's found the kill onto Body as he clears things out. Lucky is pretty committed in this position. If Flamey had swung...
Bomb has been planted.
The group stage of the Legends.
It would also secure the fact that they will be at least in the challenger stage of the major in Berlin, which will be hosted by Starladder. Announcement came out just a couple days back.
In September, I believe.
Yes.
So you have that to look forward to as well. But G2, against the ropes, to put it politely, they are really struggling. They are submerged, gasping for air, and Na'Vi, foot to the throat. Do have some nades to play with. A few smokes, couple of Molotovs.
Ooh, Flamey could step in front of that smoke if he wanted to. It appears a little too quick for him. Simples found a headshot on Shocks, who was just trying to spot. Wasn't even trying to necessarily commit, but that's beautiful. Lucky's going to love that. Not that part, as Zeus gets a trade. That's when Flamey pounces on the lurk. A classic lurk. But I think Flamey has called that they're coming down mid, so Na'Vi should be aware. They know that at least one is going to come down mid. Meanwhile, Body is trying to flush Flamey out, but they have just exchanged places, and Flamey now has the information. He can just go over to the B bomb site. It's a 1-on-3 here for Kenny, and he has to go. A kit is not an option. It's got to be a full 10-second defuse, so Kenny's got to find them all. That's going to be it. Navi's going to take this Inferno against G2. It's going to be 16-7.
Yeah, Body shooting across there just gave Na'Vi all the information they needed. Sure, he's got the first kill. They're heavily tagged in the process. And there we have it. Edward puts the final nail in the coffin. And Na'Vi steamroll to a 1-0 win.
Not as much limping from Na'Vi as we might have thought, as perhaps G2 was hoping. They looked much more solid than I think a lot of